Hey, what another great day out at the edge, man. It was a wild day today. Hey, listen, if you want to know a little bit more about what we do, we have a goal of helping, people with money market literacy. That's first of all, money market literacy. I think a lot of people understand financial literacy, but not money market literacy. And so we're helping people to understand money market literacy. And from there, then you can make a decision whether or not you want to engage the market yourself and have direct access to the market. And a lot of people don't know that you can take, money from whatever vehicle you may have, and you can take a little bit out of it, not all of it, but just take a little bit out of it, and you can have a direct access to markets. And the market that we have direct access to is the futures market. It's a really, really great market. It's highly regulated. It's a U.S. brokerage firm. I mean, really, really great. You're really in good hands. So many times we get into industries or different investment vehicles that are not monitored by the U.S. government, and I just don't think that that's the safe way to go. Matter of fact, I need to put up this disclaimer because I'm not registered. I'm not a licensed trader or anything like that. A licensed investor, investment advisor. I have a subscription program, and people subscribe to my program and my strategy. And we have a class courses that we teach. And we just teach basically this money market information that you did not learn when you were in school. So Solomon Trading Institute, we would love to have an opportunity to have a chance to impact your financial future potentially. You can come to our website. It's moneymarketedge.com, and this will pop up and you can kind of look around. I also wrote this book. You can find this on Amazon, and you can kind of read a little bit about what we do. So today I just want to give a market recap. Every day is not a tradable day. Some days you don't trade, some days you do. It just depends on what the conditions are, and today was a pretty good day. Our goal for our students is to teach them how to take one contract and at least make $400 a day. So that's what I do. A lot of times people who teach or instruct or facilitate in this industry or environment, they don't actually trade themselves. So not only do I cook the food, but I actually eat the food that I'm cooking. And so I'm going to show you a live chart of my trading today. And all I try to do is just show you that, hey, listen, it's possible to make this $400 every single day. Now, it's important that you recognize that there is an education that's involved in order to do this. We define and we determine and we reduce the risk by providing a world-class education. So that's what we pride ourselves on, being able to put you in a position where you can, succeed. So let's kind of go here. So here is what we call fundamental impact news that takes place. So as you can see here, one of the reasons that we make this money, we're able to make this money on a daily basis and be consistent with it is because we actually have a full understanding of how the market works. So we're not opening up our charts to take a trade, or we're not even opening up our charts to make money. We're opening up our charts so that we can be an intraday analyst and we can see what the market is doing. And from there, we get a forecast, which is where price should and should not go. And then from there, we build a case, we build a hypothesis. And in other words, if the market should be going short or long, we build our case, and then we just make sure that we follow our trading plan. That's really it. So you're not flying blind. But notice here, so as you can see, this is a red folder, and it took place at 1 o'clock on today, December the 13th. Here's another red folder at 5 o'clock. Now, 5 a.m. Now, we don't really go into the folders, and we don't really want to know what Governor Bailey is saying. We don't really go into the folder, and we don't really need to know what that count was and why. We don't really go into these folders. As you can see, consumer price index, that's what that stands for, core consumer price index. We don't really go into those things to know what's going on, but we do recognize and realize that they can create and cause what we call fundamental shifts in the market. And there are times where the news that happens creates and causes that fundamental shift. Well, of course, if we don't understand and we don't know that there's a fundamental shift taking place, well, what's going to happen? We're going to find ourselves involved in a situation or in a climate that really is not conducive for what we want to do. So really, it's really key and really important that you understand forecasting. And in our forecasting, one of the first things that we do is we make sure that we have a clear understanding of what's going on and a clear understanding of what could hurt us and what could harm us and what could help us in terms of fundamental news. We don't trade the fundamental news, but we just make sure that we understand and we are abreast of what's going on. So we'll make sure that we don't put ourselves in a situation where we can't, we don't want to get into trouble that we can't get out of. And so that's what we do. We make sure that we don't allow that to happen. So the first thing that we do is we identify high impact news announcements and or reports that may have some kind of play on our day. And this is what phase one is all about. Now, like I tell you, and I tell people and I talk to them all the time, I mean, it's not a get rich quick scheme. This is an education, but I'm telling you, it's one that is an education that you can take to the bank. It is not most education send you to the bank. You get a certificate or you try to go to college and you try to get your master's or you try to get your certification or whatever, and you have to pay. But this education is one that that it pays you. And I think I like seeing the rabbit with the gun personally myself. So let's look at today. We talked about how our goal is to make sure that you're able to make, that particular amount of money that we're saying that's possible for you to make. And so one of the things that we do is see, as you can see here, so there was $740 made on today, right? That's just one day. That's this day, 12/13, right? And so today, it was a pretty wild day because of some fundamental shifts that took place in the market, and I'll kind of go over those. So as you can see, I was very active today. This was a day where I actually had to stay a little bit longer than I wanted to. So I had to work a little overtime. I used to get off work at 10 a.m. and so I had to work around to 2 o'clock, but had to stick around on the charts today because of some things that happened. Here's one thing I want you to understand. As you can see, that my profit, my percentage profitable day was only 79.3.7. See, one of the things I want you to get out of your mind is that you have to be perfect or you have to be super smart or anything like that. No, it's understanding probability and understanding how to put probability on your side, understanding how to make sure that you mitigate and you reduce any risk that you may take so that the risk that you take is small. So even if you lose, then you can get the money back. So as you can see, pretty active day. So as the market was going long, I made $340. And then as the market was going short, I made $400. And so as you can see along the way, there were actually times where I was wrong. And there was an actual situation that took place in the market today that caused me to have to trade a long time. And I thought it'd be perfect. It's a perfect scenario to kind of let you know so that you can see that this is real life. So as you can see, there was this drawdown right here. I'll tell you what happened. I was in the perfect position and there was an announcement that came on, that came out. And I want to kind of show you, about that announcement that came out, and it actually went to where my stop loss was, and it actually took me out of the market, and it took me out of the market at a massive loss. So what I had to do was I had to stay calm, stay composed, and make sure that I do what? Make sure I just follow the rules, and that's what I did. And so I was able to, work and kind of get that money back. So I just want to kind of show you a little bit about what happened. So as you can see right in here, there were these folders. Well, most of the times when these folders happen, we make sure, and our students, they make sure that they're out of the market at that time, right? Because we don't know what the fundamental impact is going to be. So we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we're impacted by something that's totally 100% out of our control, right? So that's what we typically try to do. So as we're looking here, so we knew, well, this is not even our trading time right here, you see. All right, and then here is 7:30, right? So that's not our trading time, that's kind of pre-market. So all of these US announcements had an impact on the market, and I kind of show you a little bit. But here at 9 o'clock, everything was calm, and we had this economic optimism report, and it didn't have as much of impact. So you see, these are red here. So we have those that are red. And so we know, hey, look, almost like common sense. We know that this is going to have some kind of impact. So we stay outside of the market. Well, this guy right here, I was waiting for a trend. I was waiting for an opportunity to get into this market. And when this report came out, although it was yellow, I was actually in a position. So let's say this is a bar to go up, right? And this is another bar to go up. I was actually in a position here expecting my target to be hit here. So this is what I was anticipating, right? And because this announcement is not red, I didn't think anything of it. So I had my stop loss down here somewhere. When whatever was said at 12:01 noon, whatever was said, I was in my position here, minding my own business, waiting to take my profit. And I was over $1,000 in that one contract on this day. Oh man, it was a beautiful day. As soon as I hit my button, as soon as 12:01 happened, boom, the market moved down here, took my stop loss. That's all of my money was gone. So matter of fact, it had me minus $240, minus $240, just like that. Well, needless to say, my smile turned into a sad face. Then it turned into an angry face. And then I prayed so that I can get self-control. Now, I don't know what you do to get self-control, but I needed self-control at this time because it was only 12 o'clock, right? And so the market doesn't stop until 3. So I have 3 hours to gather myself. Of course, I had to cancel some appointments, but to gather myself so that I can make a return because I knew I was right. The timing was just wrong because I entered that market at a time where this was taking place, right? So, boop, 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 out of there, just like that. So that's what I love about what we do. See, if it was luck, then it would be a sad day because how many times can you just get lucky and then get lucky and then get lucky? That really doesn't work for real. So, but this is a skill and it's something that we can't wait to teach you. Now, check this out. So, and I ended up, even after that debacle, if you will, even after that, I was still able to do what? I was still able to come back and then still what? Get the goal. I mean, and that's the name of the game. That's the only thing that really matters at the end of the day. See, it's important that you understand how the market works. And that's what we're going to make sure that we teach you how the market works. What is distribution? What is accumulation, redistribution, if you don't really understand this and you're actually trading, I'm talking to some of my traders now, people who are actually trading, you're thinking about contemplating getting it done. If you don't really understand this and how this works and all of the activity that occurs and how to understand trading ranges and things of that nature, listen, I want to encourage you to stop and get some help, okay? Because it's really that important. So as you can see this chart here. Now, in the morning, there was this announcement right here. Can you see that? You see that big spike in the market? Well, when we come in and we do our forecasting and we see a spike like that in the market, well, we know, hey, listen, that there needs to be some kind of adjustment there. You see, so at 7:30 a.m., you see 7:30 a.m. right here. See, this is not luck. All of this is a part of your learning and what you do. So at 7:30 a.m., what happened at that point was this spike. Can you see it? If I go down here, put my crosshairs here at 7:38 a.m. Now, what did this do? What did this do? This caused what we call a price vacuum. So from this high of this candle all the way to the low of this candle, this is a price vacuum that throughout the day, the market is going to feel. So you see how this spike took place and that market worked its way all the way down, down, up, down, up, down, up, got sideways. You see it sideways. We call this congestion, consolidation. And then guess what? We finally get the breakout. Now, this isn't the chart that we trade on. The chart that we trade on removes all of the noise. You see all of this noise, these candles, different size candles, some with the wick on the bottom, some with the wick on the top, where our software removes all the noise. But I wanted you to see this is what we use to confirm some positions in the market and confirm momentum. Because the only thing, first of all, you have to make sure you're going in the right direction. So the software takes care of that. You see how when it's red, it's going down, and then green is going up, and then red is going down and green. Okay, so you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just have to know the difference between red and green. And guess what? Some people are colorblind. We do have some people in our milieu who are actually colorblind. But they can see the different shades, right? So that helps the direction. That's part of the problem. When people lose trades, they're going in the wrong direction. Well, we have the direction covered, but then the next thing is the timing. And it's the structure of the market, and it's the understanding of the market and how it works, so you'll know exactly what time to enter into the market. So as you can see, the market we made structures. As you can see, we put things on our chart. So we boxed up this area. Why? Because we knew that the market would work its way back down in here. We just didn't know how, and we just didn't know why. So fundamental shift sometimes causes the market to act in a way that it would act. So the market did not return to fair value today, but it continued to break out because of this price void and price vacuum. We have an education room. We talk about this stuff, in that education room. So listen, so you'll learn all of this, but this is the chart that was used today to do that. And like I said, we have a trading plan that you will learn, and you will begin to follow that trading plan. It'll do you really, really good. So we don't guess, we forecast, we know exactly, we understand price action, impulse, pullback, consolidation, breakout, reversal. We understand opportunity recognition. We understand when we have momentum. We understand when we don't. We understand where targets are. The entry criteria, we understand the exact precise place to enter into a trade. And we understand how to put our protection, our capital preservation, stop loss in the right place. We understand how to preserve, as you can see and as you saw, that there was some losing trades. Matter of fact, I was only 79% profitable, right? But made the $700. And really, the goal is just to make 400. So we try to encourage our students to become a pro, which means you'll be trading 10 contracts, $400. That's $4,000 per day. I mean, you can't really beat that. No promises or guarantees are made, but what we do promise you is that we're going to make sure that you understand. Once you understand the basics, we make sure that we even give you an advanced recognition analysis, so you'll know exactly what's going on, when it's going on, and things of that nature. So, hey, listen, if you want to know more about what we do, go to www.moneymarketedge.com, and you can pull up our website. Also, if you want to become a part, somebody may have told you about this, and they sent you this link, or you saw this on our YouTube channel or something of that nature, and you want to stay abreast of what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're doing it. Hey, we love to do that. We love to spend time with you. Text the word profits, PROFITS. Make sure you include the S to 94253. And when you do that, a link will come to your phone. You'll click that link and hit from henceforth and forevermore, unless you unsubscribe, you'll get the daily recaps like you're hearing and like you're seeing on today. Sometimes we put lectures on there. I'm interviewing one of the students, student spotlight for next week. His name is Ricky Matthews. I'm interviewing him. He only completed the 6th grade. He gives me permission to tell his story, his testimony. So you'll love to meet him. I'll be talking with him and interviewing him on next week. Hey, listen, until next time, I'm Cornelius Wilson Brown III, the author of The Money Market Edge. You can go, author of The Money Market Autopsy. You can go and find this book and look and learn more about what we do. Hey, listen, it's the will of God, absolutely, that you prosper and that you do well and that you do not struggle and that all of your needs are met, even including your debt. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.